Let's breathe, deep divers. I said let's breathe, deep divers. How you feeling today? Let's go. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. What are we doing? Let me send all of you some good ass energy. Take that, take that, take that. Peace, infinite waters diving deep once again. Shout out to everybody who's here. First of all, let me shout out to Jocelyn Vallon. You are appreciated. Imagine a world where we would not be giving money to cable news that is feeding us fear and low vibrations. The mass hypnosis would come to an end. Slow motion this side. Oh my gosh. We started off early. Just like that. Just like that. Shout out to everybody who's here. Everybody who's diving deep. Let's go. Adam, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. So we're going to talk about the Great Awakening. We're going to talk about the apocalypse. We're going to talk about Andrew Tate. We're also going to talk about the paradigm shift and how to escape the matrix. We got a whole lot to talk about. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh, we got a whole new setup, deep divers, but let's start properly. Let's just start in a good vibration. Let's start in a good frequency. Shout out to all the deep divers in the house. Oh, you're enjoying this one, aren't you? Shout out to everyone who's here. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Sometimes you just need to rewind, relax, and enjoy. Infinite Waters helps you meditate, deep divers. You know that. Oh yeah, we're starting off right. Lewis, you are appreciated. Hey Ralph, thank you, and wish you a happy new year. Hey, I appreciate that. And Lewis, you're so appreciated. Like I say, shout out to everyone who's been supporting Infinite Waters. Make sure as well you get the #1 best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart, on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the-book, The Bible of Becoming Your Greatest Version. Also, the Good Ass Prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/close. And also, make sure you hit that like button, share this video. We're about to go in. So much to talk about, deep divers. How you feeling? I just want to start off the show right. Can I do that? Deep divers? Can I start off the show right? Because we're all about good frequencies on Infinite Waters. We're all about good vibrations. I want to pay everyone homage who's been supporting Infinite Waters, who's been supporting me from day one. Sonia Bear, you're so appreciated. To my mentor, Virtual Connection and Hero, going into our 6th year, discovering your blessings. Oh my gosh. Sonia Bear, you get a Don DeMarco because you're the #1 supporter of Infinite Waters. I appreciate you. Adam, you are appreciated. Most definitely appreciated. Shout out to everyone in the chat. You are appreciated. Mecca Ann, you are appreciated. Sylvia Cole, you are appreciated. Who else we got in here? Empress. We can't forget about Empress. Shout out to Empress. You are appreciated. Crafted Legacy 22. What's up? You are appreciated. We got Nick in the house. You are appreciated. Jewel C in the house. We got Jasper in the house. Okay. We got Tori in the house. Okay. We got Sway in the house. Okay. Is that how we're doing it, deep divers? So before I get into the show, deep divers, let's warm up. I want to play you one more song. Then I'm really going to go in because we got a whole lot to talk about. Let's elevate, deep divers.
Yeah. They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies, all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Water on bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. Oh, I ain't make it this far for myself, yeah. I had to prove to everybody else, yeah. I had to set them straight, yeah. I had to boss, so I had to renovate, I know. They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah. I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. Ooh, yeah. Why they wanna bring me down? So much drip, yeah, I almost drowned in it. I can't dim it down. Yeah, I'm way too fired up. I can't simmer down. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I see the flashing lights. Make sure the fashion right. Yeah, I'm in my bag tonight. Yeah. Ooh, I might just pull up a foreign.
elevate deep divers. That's what we're here to do. Because we came here to elevate. Let me shout out to Joseph Walks. You are appreciated. Every day I wake up, I thank the Great Mother for another day. I appreciate you as well. Good brother, Super Chat 999. Infinite wisdom is priceless. You are appreciated. Hey. You are appreciated. You are appreciated, Joseph. Right? Shout out to everybody here. Like I always tell you, deep divers, it's nothing but love. You know, I woke up with good energy today. I just want to share good energy. Can I do that, deep divers? Take that, take that, take that. Good ass energy I'm sending you. So, the apocalypse. Andrew Tate got arrested and escaping the matrix. We got a whole lot to talk about. Where should we start, deep divers? Like I said, you know, first and foremost, let me shout out to Pele. Pele, who was a great football player, a legend of the game, you know, passed away. And, you know, we've got to remind ourselves, people like Pele are one of a kind, you know, one of a kind people. And, you know, we don't want to take people like that for granted. You know, we don't want to take people like Pele for granted, because these people, they don't come around too often, you know. So like I always say, he passed away. Great soccer player. If you don't know who Pele is, you really want to go and do your research, because Pele was an alien. You know, what he could do with the soccer ball, you know, the greatest soccer player of all time. When we talk of inspiring people, he's one of them. Go and study his life. Won the World Cup 3 times. You know, amazing. So let's talk about so many things going on. I made that video, Andrew Tate got arrested, right? Deep divers. And a lot of people were in the comment section. And so much is happening, deep divers. Like I told you, right now, we're in the midst of a paradigm shift. I don't agree with everything Andrew Tate has to say, but I can see what's going on. You know, he was arrested in Romania over human trafficking charges. And, you know, when I heard this story, I started to realize that the matrix is real, you know, and we've got to remind ourselves, you know, a lot of people don't realize they're born into a matrix. They're born into a prison. They can't see, smell, taste, or touch, a prison for their mind. And you've got to remind yourself that people like Andrew Tate was very outspoken to the matrix. At the same time, we're master decoders. You've got to remind yourself the whole world is a stage. The whole world is a stage. And that's the reason why you have to have critical thinking. But there is a force on the planet. I call them the inorganic ones, who don't want the truth coming out there. They don't want the truth getting out there. And the only way to protect yourself is through love, is through good frequencies, good vibrations. Shout out to everyone who's here. So, like I say, you know, I already put out that video, already went viral, right? Because I was really diving deep into so many things in the matrix. So, let me do a breakdown for those who didn't see that video. Let me just run through it. So, who is Andrew Tate? He's someone who really just came to fame, like, within the last 2 years. And he has a massive following, especially in young men, in the manosphere. He's huge, right? But not only that, he's got news outlets talking about him, saying it's toxic masculinity, all of these things. But, you know, he kind of shows a lifestyle with his brother Tristan, who also got arrested, of, you know, just living your best life. And, you know, there's so much symbolism in everything that happened, right? Because like I say, you've got to realize there are no accidents or coincidences in the universe. There are no accidents or coincidences in the universe. Also, let me shout out to Vivienne Westwood, the fashion designer who passed away, right? So all on the same day, you had Pele passing away. You had Vivienne Westwood, fashion designer from England, passing away. And then you had Andrew Tate getting arrested and his brother Tristan Tate. That's not an accident. Like I say, the whole world is a stage. That's what Shakespeare told you. The whole world is a stage and we are all actors. So you have to realize the symbolism of how this thing works. We're going to dive into it, but shout out to everyone who's here, reading every single comment. Quantum Traveler, you are appreciated. Ralph Smart, you're the galactic DJ out here, live streaming the fall of the empire and the rise of the community of light. Shout out to my fellow British man, top G. Hey, you are appreciated. You are most definitely appreciated, right? You are most definitely appreciated because that was a great comment. And it's so great to see right now so many people really waking up in their true power. Shout out to everyone who's here. Once again, deep divers, I also want to know your take on everything that's happening. I already talk enough. But so much is happening. So, like I said, let me just run down through the story. So, when Andrew Tate got arrested yesterday on human trafficking charges and alleged sexual assault, you know, I'm someone who pays attention to everything that's happening in the Matrix, right? So I said, okay, Andrew Tate, he's a showman. He's got this charisma. He's also polarizing. People don't like him. People like him. People hate him. People love him. And I say, okay, I'm never over emotional, right? And this is what you have to learn how to do, deep divers. It's not about liking someone or disliking someone. It's about having critical thinking. You see, the smartest people in the world are people who have discernment, right? The smartest people in the world are the people who don't believe everything the media say or what other people say. They are critical thinkers and they have a mind of their own. And this is what we have to do in these times. We are living in the midst of the apocalypse. Apocalypse emanating from the Greek apocalypsis, which means the lifting of the veil. And this is the reason why we are in the end times of Babylon. The whole matrix is collapsing, right? So, shout out to everybody who's here. Everybody who's here. So, Red Apple, you are appreciated. Thank you, mentor. Got to get a pizza for this one. Absolutely. We're going to dive into it because a lot of people don't know the background story. So, you know, Andrew Tate is someone who is huge in the manosphere. And like I say, he makes a lot of great points, a lot of controversial statements, things I don't agree with. But I don't get into my feelings because, like I say, it's not about getting into your feelings. It's about having discernment to see is bigger than Andrew Tate. We are in the midst of spiritual warfare. And this is the reason why you have to wake up. There's been an attack on censorship, right? You saw what happened in the pandemic, in COVID. A lot of people were censored, deplatformed. This is what this is all about, right? People like David Icke, right? Do you know who David Icke is? Do you know who Dr. Phil Valentine is? These are the people you want to research. Do you know who the cat down the road is, deep divers? Oh, yes, you do, right? So this lifestyle that kind of Andrew Tate and Tristan was showing, you know, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But some people were not liking it, right? And this is why he had a lot of criticism, you know, from the left, a lot of criticism from the Matrix saying, hey, deplatform him. And that's what happened. He got cancelled. And then recently, yesterday, you know, he was going back and forth with Greta Thunberg. And he said, hello, I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has W16 8 liters quad turbo. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions. She says, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldnergy@getalife.com, right? And then it went on, right? Now he got busted because he was filming a video in response to her, and he had this pizza. And this is how they tracked his location. This is very important because this is how the Matrix works. This is how the Romanian authorities tracked his location, right? And this is very important because, like I say, the Matrix wasn't a film. It was a documentary. Slow motion this side. And that's what you have to really remind yourself of. The Matrix wasn't a film. It was a documentary. And like I said, I don't think anyone caught this. You know, that pizza is very symbolic because when we talk of Pizzagate, when we talk of Epstein, child trafficking, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted on human trafficking charges. I'm a criminologist and a psychologist, so I always look at these cases, right? Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted, but you didn't hear it on the news, right? You hardly heard about it. So you've got to remind yourself that it's not an accident or a coincidence. There was a pizza, Jerry's Pizza. That's not an accident. That refers to Pizzagate. If you don't know what Pizzagate is, go and do your research. Right? So it's all symbolism. It's all symbolism. You know, like I say, to escape the Matrix, you have to realize you are in one. A lot of people say, Ralph, you're like Morpheus. And I say I'm like the architect. I'm like Morpheus, right? A lot of people now are waking up to realize they've been lied to from birth, conditioned, programmed. Everything you know about the world is wrong. The media lies to you. The government lies to you. The money is fake. Everything around you has been artificially constructed. That's what the Matrix is. So the whole journey is like Neo in the Matrix. The whole journey is to be the one, is to find out who you really are, is to know thyself. And this is really the first steps of escaping the Matrix. How are you feeling today, deep divers? Right? How are you feeling today, deep divers? I said, hey, let me just go live, right? But I'm not just here to talk about what I want to talk about. I want to hear from you. One of the things you have to realize is that in these days and times, like I said, in these days and times, there is a spiritual warfare going on. And the only way out of it is to go within yourself. You know, a lot of people in this matrix don't realize there's levels to this shit. Now, let's get into the symbolism of this, okay? Because someone said, oh, he had the 33 cars, right? He had the 33 cars. Someone also said The hand symbol. What are we talking about here, deep divers? Let me know. What do they mean by that? Can someone explain? I'll wait. Because like I say, everything is symbolic. Everything is symbolism. So why should it matter if someone has 33 cars? Right? Right? What's the symbolism, deep divers? So a lot of people are saying, okay, 33. But you see, this is why I always tell you to have critical thinking. Yes, 33. A lot of people link that number to masonry. But what is 33? I'm a 33. I was born on March 3rd at 3:03. 33. That's 33. What does 33 even mean? That's why I always want to get you into the knowledge, deep divers. Because the thing is, you got to remind yourself, Freemasonry, every single country in the Western world has a lodge, right? Every single country in the Western world has a lodge. There are a lot of people don't even know what Freemasonry is. A lot of people don't even realize that not all Freemasons are bad. There are many Freemasons which help out in your local community. But inside of Freemasonry, you have secret societies. Absolutely. But when we talk of the number 33, it's linked to the 33rd degree. I was born on 33. That's the reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing. Because who is 33? Deep divers, let's go. Adam, you are appreciated. Thank you. Deep diver, shout out to everyone who's here. Reading every single comment. Hit that super chat, deep divers, and give thanks. Also, hit that like button. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let's go. So, 33. Who is 33? Which figure is 33? What is the role of 33? That's the question. Oh, we're diving deep, deep divers. This is going to go over your head. This one going to go over your head. Who is the 33? Why is 33 the most powerful number? Why do they worship 33? Why did you have 33 club, Disney club? Why do you have a 33rd degree Mason? Why the number 33? Let's do the science. Who is the 33? That's the question. Thank you. 33 is the master teacher. 33 is the master teacher. And there's levels upon levels. Levels upon levels. And that's why you have to remind yourself there are levels upon levels. 33 is actually Christ consciousness. When they say Jesus died at age 33, they were talking about his Kundalini energy rose. And he now had the oil of the Christ consciousness, the anointed one. Oh my God. He was the master teacher. That was a symbolism, right? Symbolism. He had risen into Christ consciousness, the highest level anybody could reach. The master teacher. Right? Making me go in, deep divers. Making me go in. Right? So you got to remind yourself 33 is the most powerful number. That's the reason why they worship it. That's the reason why they praise it. That's the reason why they build secret societies around it, because once you've reached that level, you have the knowledge. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. And to escape the matrix, you need to be a 33. To escape the matrix, you need to know thyself. Gnothi Seaton. What does that mean, deep divers? Tell me. Gnothi Seaton. What does that mean? Let me shout out to everyone who's here. Valentina, you are most appreciated. Had an unconscious OBE, the most beautiful feeling I have had in my entire life. I felt pure bliss, and I saw how every one of us is a galaxy of our own. To this day, I don't really know what happened. Woo! That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Valentina. And that's why I told you, a lot of people be taking trips right now. Selena, you are appreciated. Selena Mato, you are most definitely appreciated. We have seen over that people are identifying themselves with masks and passports. Are we identifying ourselves to people and toxic relationships? How do we break down this similar conditioning? That's a great question. So we've got to remind ourselves, in this matrix, a lot of people are wearing a mask. And the secret is taking off this mask. This is how you really become enlightened. This is how you really begin to free yourself from everything. It's funny because what happened to Andrew Tate, Elon Musk tweeted this. Like I told you, they're all aware of the 33. Even Elon Musk. What did he tweet? Oh yeah, what if I told you the only way to escape the matrix? Wait a minute, why is the richest man in the matrix talking about how to escape the matrix, deep divers? Can someone explain? Why would he tweet that? Why would Elon Musk tweet Neo in the Matrix? Right? Because the Matrix wasn't a film. The Matrix was a documentary. What if I told you the only way to escape the Matrix is to unlearn everything that you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis? What if I told you that, deep divers? And when you remind yourself, like I told you, there's levels. A lot of people have to know, understand how this matrix works. Right? Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think of frequency, vibration. Think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He also told you to study the numbers 369. 369. But what's the first number? 3. And that's why I always tell you, you got to remind yourself the matrix is real and it's happening. And you are here to wake up from the matrix. You're here to unplug from everything you think you know so you can learn something new. So what if I told you the only way to escape the matrix is to unlearn everything that you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis? So everything that's happening to Andrew Tate, like I say, you want to not be in your emotions. This is not about saying I like him, I don't like him. You want to have critical thinking. Critical thinking. Critical thinking. And this will lead you to the truth. Adam, you are so appreciated. Thank you so much. You're most definitely appreciated. Thank you for all of your support. So, like I said, an individual like Tate is somebody who was speaking up against the matrix. But like I told you, let me see if any of you are really listening to what I'm saying, like very closely. What did I always tell you? The one mistake a lot of people make in the Matrix. The one mistake a lot of people make in the Matrix. If anyone gets it, I'm gonna be saying, oh my gosh, what do I say in regards to this? Like a lot of people, they make one fundamental mistake. And this is why I always say you have to be smart. It's not don't outshine the master. Thank you. You can't serve two masters. Let me repeat that. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve two masters. You got to choose. See, I made a choice, deep divers. I had to make a choice. You see, you're not going to be here as long as me without making the right choice. The Matrix tried to get me, but they can't touch an infinite one. But you can't serve two masters. In 2013, I made a video. What was it called? How to decalcify your pineal gland. Ralph Smart was going in 2012. I was exposing the Matrix. And guess what? I'm still exposing the Matrix. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm not switching sides. I'm not hanging out at Grammy parties. I'm only here to wake you up. Like Morpheus woke up Neo. So when you remind yourself, you can't serve two masters, because if you do, one is going to be disappointed. And that's the reason why they came and collected Tate. Because everything in the Matrix is planned and orchestrated a long time ago. Everything in the Matrix is all about numbers. Everything in the Matrix is all about numbers. They said, okay, let's get him on this day, just before the new year. It wasn't an accident. Everything in the Matrix is staged. Everything is planned a long time ago. And Rudy, you are appreciated. Thank you. Everything is planned a long time ago. And they're watching. This is what the inorganic ones love to do. They love to give you the material wealth. But if you don't do what they want, knock, knock. You hear that knock, knock. Because you see, in this Matrix, you've got to make a choice. Morpheus told Neo, the only way out is to make a choice. The choice Neo had to make was between the blue pill and the red pill. The blue pill is the illusion. The red pill is the truth. And Neo chose the red pill. You got to remind yourself, deep divers, you can't take both pills. You can't have the illusion and then the truth. Because you see, this is how they get you. And one of the things is that when you're someone like Andrew Tate, who is extremely smart, his dad was a chess player, and he's very good at kind of engaging with people. He has a lot of power. In fact, Andrew Tate was more Googled than Donald Trump. He was so influential, he was actually getting young American men to convert to Islam, because he recently converted to Islam, right? So he was getting young men, military men. He was the most influential person to young men all across the world. That's a fact. So anything he said, they're going to do. So with all of that power, a lot of people can become envious. A lot of people can become jealous, but also the inorganic ones are always watching. And like I say, the inorganic ones don't really care about money, because they print the damn stuff. They don't care about Bugatti. They don't care about Rolls Royce. They don't care about Aston Martin. They don't even care about Ferraris. They don't care about $10 billion, $100 billion, because they are the architects of the illusions itself. So the US just cut a check for $2.6 trillion. That's small change. So you can say, hey, I'm worth $1 billion. But in the matrix, there's always someone who has more money than you. So if you play that game, you're always going to be defeated. If you play that game, you're always going to be crushed, because someone's going to say, you know what? We're going to see who's the boss. That's one of the laws of power. Don't outshine the master. And who is the master? Well, you see, for some people, money, materialism is their master. And when you walk around thinking that you're untouchable, the inorganic ones always want to show you a surprise. And that's the reason why you have to remind yourself the only way to protect yourself, to escape the matrix, is to learn you can't serve two masters. The reason why Ralph Smart is still here after all these years is because I'm staying on one side. I'm exposing the matrix. And that's why I'm always protected, always loved, always guided. I'm not switching sides all of a sudden. You know the program. You know what we do here, deep divers. So that's very powerful, because you got to remind yourself that everything you're doing, and this is what happened with Tate, someone is watching. You know, when you are this influential, the agents are watching. They're saying, wait a minute, we know where you are. Jerry's Pizza, that's in Romania. Knock, knock. So you got to remind yourself that even when you remind yourself, sometimes you say, okay, let me argue with Greta, right? Greta was 15 or so when she kind of spoke about climate change. She's 19 now, right? So when she said that, you got to remind yourself, anyone you see in the matrix, in the mainstream, has been put there by the inorganic ones. They can't say what they really want. They're controlled. But we don't have to argue with these people. We can just see it for what it is. So in this matrix, you have to realize that the deeper you go, the more you realize it's all a Maya. It's all an illusion. So they said Greta Thunberg, right, got like 2 million retweets or something like that, or 3 million. But what if I told you you can get 10 million? Because the agents will make sure that happens. You see that film in The Matrix when they kind of went into someone's body, right? Agent Smith had the ability to go into different people's bodies. In the Matrix construct, you can manipulate numbers. That's the reason why there are people on Instagram with 50 million followers who bought those followers. They are bots. They're not real people. So the numbers on Twitter doesn't mean anything. You can have 100 million followers. They're not real people. They are bots. And if you're not smart enough to see that, this is how the agents control everything in the Matrix, because they know that human beings, all they want is numbers. They just want numbers, right? So you can buy Instagram followers. You can buy YouTube followers. You can buy verification ticks. In the Matrix, it's all for sale. So don't get fooled by someone having 2 million retweets, because in the Matrix, the numbers can be altered, changed, and the game is rigged. Right? So all of those people are not even real. And that's why Elon Musk is aware of the Matrix. That's what he tweeted. What if I told you the only way to escape the Matrix is to unlearn everything that you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis? Why is Elon Musk posting about the Matrix unless he knows something? That we are in a Matrix and the only way out is in. Oh, you're making me go in, deep divers. How you feeling today, deep divers? I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here. You know, I only came here to share good energy with you, deep divers. That's what we're doing. Manifesting magic the practical way. You're so appreciated. Thank you, Ralph. You are appreciated. Hey, I just want to give you your flowers right now. Thank you for always supporting Infinite Waters, for always being there, manifesting magic the practical way. And clap for yourself, deep divers. Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. You know, one of the things absolutely. 22 is a very important number. That's a great question. You know, 22 is a master number. There's a reason why secret societies mimic the numbers, the master numbers. 11, right? That's when World War I ended. 11/11, right? Remembrance Day. That's the master number. But also you have 11 organs in your body. 22. What's symbolic about 22, deep divers? How does that relate to you? How is the number 22 a direct reflection of a human being? What do you know about 22, deep divers? Bush knows about it. Skull and bones. Skull and bones. Well, 22, you've got 22 bones in your skull. You have 22 bones in your skull. That's the reason why skull and bones. They're not stupid. Right? So 22 is always powerful. And that's why I always tell you, pay attention to the numbers, the time you were born. There are people on this planet who are supposed to do certain things. And it's got everything to do with the time you were born. The day you were born. Nico, you are appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the show. It's got everything to do with the time you were born, the day you were born. I was born on March 3rd at 3:03. That's 33. That's the master teacher. I'll take it. And I did. So you better know your sun sign. You better know your moon sign. You better know exactly what your mission is on planet Earth. Remind yourself, you cannot serve two masters. You've got to choose. What is my path? What is my mission? You know, a lot of people want to play around with the illusion. I could do that. You know, I could really do that. I could buy Ferraris. I could buy Rolls Royce. I could buy Aston Martins. But you know, what would happen if I started to do that, deep divers? What do you think would happen? It's nothing bad about the cars, because like I say, you know, it's just a car. It doesn't mean anything. But what would happen if I started to deviate from my true life path? What do you think would happen to Infinite Waters? Infinite Waters would start to decline. Because you see, you can't serve two masters. You got to be on this path or nothing. And that's the reason why a lot of people, they get caught up in the flashing lights. They want the glitz and the glamour, not realizing that's got nothing to do with what they're here to do. Certain people are supposed to be there. You have to ask yourself, am I supposed to be living this life? Who am I? Am I playing a character? Or is this the real me? You see, this is why I always tell you, we're in a world where a lot of people, you know, you don't know, are they serious or are they trolling? And this is why I told you. Right now, you've got to realize that, shout out to Pele, phenomenal football player who passed away, amazing player. Now you've got to remind yourself that you might be joking around, but what you're doing is so powerful that it's disrupting the agenda. Because you see, the agents, what did Andrew Tate say? He said the agents, they sent their agents. You see, so this film, The Matrix, you have the agents here. And the agents are all around us. And you see, the reason why the agents are extremely powerful in The Matrix is because they work together. And you have to remind yourself, like I told you, we can't knock the inorganic ones. Why? Why can't we knock the inorganic ones? Because they follow universal law. And one of the law states, work together and you can accomplish far more. They build alliances. You know, when we talk of Andrew Tate, in my mind, there were many people who said, okay, we're going to get him. And this is how it works in the Matrix. And that's why, you know, Andrew Tate knows a lot of people. But if you're playing that game, you want to know people who created the rules to that game. If you're in that world, you better have powerful alliances. Never isolate yourself. Don't think, hey, I'm in Romania, they can't get me. Because like I told you, like Morpheus told you, what did Morpheus tell you, deep divers? The Matrix is everywhere. And that's the reason why you have to realize in the Matrix there was a character. What was the name of the character who sold other people out? Deep divers. What was the name of the character who sold other people out? What was his name? Cypher, right? That was symbolic of Lucifer. Cypher, Lucifer, the fallen angel. So it was showing you in the film The Matrix that even people who were just like you, they can sell you out for a few silver coins. They can sell you out to the agents. People in your own camp. We call them Judases, right? So sometimes it's not even someone coming to get you. It's people in your own circle bringing you to the agents. That's what happened in The Matrix. Cypher sold them out. You thought it was just a movie? It's happening in real life. That's why I told you. Be careful of your circle before they hurt you, because it's the same people. It's the same people who are around you all the time who are jealous of what you have. They're envious of what you have. They want to bring you down. Some people actually only get excitement when you fall. They only get excitement when you're down and out. You know, sometimes, and someone like Andrew Tate, when he's saying, hey, I'm so rich, I've got all of these cars. There's some people with no cars. There's some people with nothing. So some people don't like that. He can start intimidating people. So this is the reason why you want to remind yourself that you have to be careful of your circle. Don't think that the enemy is always out there. No, oftentimes the enemy is within. Shout out to everyone who's here. Deep divers, hit that like button. Hit that like button right now. Hit that like button. Share the video. Hit that super chat. Reading every single comment. How you feeling today, deep divers? Ask me anything about this topic. Inner knowing you are appreciated. Are we programmed to feel no motivation and not wanting to challenge ourselves? Why do blockages rise when we are leveling up? Why is success feared? That's a great question. That's like 3 questions in one. Where should we start? So are we programmed to feel no motivation and not wanting to challenge ourselves? We are programmed absolutely like that, because that's the reason why a lot of people are programmed by the TV. The television tells lies to your vision, the news. You're programmed to always feel lazy. At the same time, you got to remind yourself you can override the program. And you're here to realize this whole entire matrix was designed to keep you in a low frequency and a low vibration. And you have to make it your job to elevate, to move to a higher frequency. Why do blockages rise when we are leveling up? Because it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Why is success feared? Because when you are successful, a lot of people who are not there can become intimidated. But also it's about you realizing you're not here to live up to other people's expectations. You're here to live your life. Shout out to everyone who's here. Deep divers, so much to talk about. So much to talk about. So let me go back to this, because like I say, everything is symbolism. You know, there are people who really live that pizza life, deep divers. There are people who are really about that pizza. They're really about that pizza life. And there are people who want to kind of play around with it. And you got to remind yourself, a lot of people who are in that pizza life, they stay low key. You don't hear about them. They're on different islands doing what they have to do. That's how the inorganic ones get down. You know, Jeffrey Epstein never actually did an interview. I'm a criminologist. I'm a psychologist. I said, why didn't this man ever speak? Have you ever noticed that, deep divers? He never actually gave an interview. Even Ghislaine Maxwell didn't hardly ever talk. But a lot of people don't pay attention to that. And that's the reason why you have to remind yourself the people who are doing the most wickedness in the matrix are keeping a low profile. And you have to realize that it's a whole big chain. You know, I didn't do a video on Balenciaga, but they had did an advert. Just go and Google it. Don't Google it. Just go and find out about it. Balenciaga's advert, which was banned, and for good reason. And for good reason. But that's what it's all about. I'm speaking in code words, deep divers. Because like I say, you know, right now so much is happening. And the lifting of the veil is happening. Like I told you. Someone like Andrew Tate is exactly what the inorganic ones love. This is what the agents love. It's like Michael Jackson. They build you up because the more famous you are, the more popular you are, the more they can use you. The more the agents can use you for their agenda. And this is the reason why it's a trap. That's why I told you, you know, a lot of people in that billionaires club, people like the Bill Gates, what watch does he wear? Someone tell me what watch he wears, deep divers. It begins with a C. What watch does Bill Gates wear? What watch does he wear? Casio. Right? Why does someone worth over $100 billion wear a $30 watch? Why does someone with over $100 billion wear a $30 watch? Because he knows it's all an illusion. And that's the reason why you have to realize a lot of these people who control the matrix, they're doing the opposite of what Andrew Tate is doing. So this is how they keep their power. They keep a low profile. They don't want to know. They don't want you to know they've got cars. They don't want you to know they've got money. People like Zuckerberg, all of these people, they only wear a pair of jeans, regular t-shirt. Regular t-shirt. And this is a secret a lot of people don't know about. Like when you're a billionaire, you don't even wear any of those designer clothes. You don't even show off your sports cars because you're trying to hide. You're trying to hide all of that stuff. You don't want people to find out how much wealth you actually have. But you see, people like Andrew Tate, you know, he's lived a hard life. And that's the thing in this matrix. When you've had a hard life, you want to show to the world, hey, look at my Ferrari, look at my Aston Martin. But you play into the hands of the inorganic ones. That's exactly what they want. They don't care about how many cars you have. They don't care about if you got $1 billion, $2 billion, because they created this simulation. They created the money. They created the Rolls Royce. So you're just playing their game, and the only way out is to play your game. You're supposed to be saying, I don't care about a Bugatti. I don't care about a Ferrari. I don't care about a Rolls Royce. I don't care about a Rolex. And if you do that, this is how you become the one. Because you're now, just like Neo in the Matrix, you're now waking up to the illusion that it's all a trap. Yes, you can have those things, but it doesn't mean anything. Because you're still buying things that they produce. You're not producing it yourself. So the Matrix works on separation. How they trick all of you is to say, hey, if you reach a certain level, you can join us. But that's a lie. Because you see, you can't get there with material possessions. You can only get there with this. And that's the reason why you can be wealthier than someone with 30 sports cars if you know who you are. So you got to remind yourself that, they said they want to extend Andrew Tate's stay in prison for 30 days. And like I say, this happened in April. And it was because a girl made up a story. It wasn't true. But like I say, they can use anything just to create a public humiliation ritual. And they do this when you have reached more influence than they can reach. When you are like that, that's what happens. Michael Jackson had reached that level. Michael Jackson had reached that level. Michael Jackson reached a level where, Michael Jackson was so smart. Michael Jackson was so talented. Michael Jackson was truly the king of pop. Undisputed. No arguments. Everybody was in awe of Michael Jackson. Thriller. Beat It. Remember the Time. He was getting so powerful. He was so powerful. The agents didn't even know what to do. Michael Jackson was so powerful. Check this out. He bought half of Sony. He bought all of the Beatles catalog. Paul McCartney was like, what's going on? Michael Jackson was a gangster. But like I say, he also fell into the trap. And what was the trap Michael fell into? What was the trap Michael fell into? Deep divers? Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that share button. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button. Share the video. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button. If you support the real, hit that super chat. Let me read your comments. What mistake did Michael make? Michael Jackson, one of the mistakes he made was Michael Jackson I should go on Rumble, deep divers. I was actually speaking to someone, the editor of Rumble. They're like, you want to come to Rumble? I'm like, yeah. Michael Jackson made one mistake, two mistakes, three mistakes, but the biggest mistake is that he was serving two masters. And that's the reason why they sent Mr. Bashir to give him an interview. They set him up. They said, hey, Mike, what's going on in your Neverland Ranch, right? What's going on in your Neverland Ranch? And Michael is someone who's so honest, right? But you got to remind yourself, in the Matrix, it's full of lies. You don't want to be too honest. And he's like, what do? You're having sleepovers? This, that. So it even happened when Oprah Winfrey interviewed Michael in 1993. She was asking those questions. And, at that time when Oprah interviewed Michael Jackson, it was okay. That was 1993. But you see, if you go along with what they want you to do, they don't care. But the moment you start waking up and you're as big as Michael Jackson, Tate was big, but he's not as big as Michael Jackson. When you're as big as Michael Jackson, anything you say is like law to a lot of millions of people, billions of people. And that's the reason why they sent the agents to Michael Jackson. Because Michael Jackson was getting knowledge of who he really was. He was starting to expose the whole music industry. In fact, one of his last speakings, he was talking about how the guy who wrote Elvis Presley's songs, what was his name, deep divers? Who wrote most of Elvis's songs? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What was his name? What was the guy who wrote most of Elvis's hit records? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What was his name? What was his name? What was the guy? Not Stevie Wonder. See, he was dropping so much knowledge a lot of people don't even know here. What was the guy's name who was writing Elvis's hit records Michael Jackson was talking about? What was his name? James Brown. Shout out to James Brown. Right? Michael Jackson. Let me pull up a quote. Michael Jackson was exposing so much. How are you feeling today, deep divers? Like I say, I'm reading every single comment. I always take notes, deep divers. Right? Otis Blackwell. Otis Blackwell. Go and research who Otis Blackwell is, because Michael Jackson was telling you he was the real genius. And he was a genius. He was writing hit records like Fever for Elvis Presley, going #1. But he died penniless, right? So Michael Jackson was exposing so much was going on in the industry. A lot of people who were writing the music were dying broke. They weren't even getting the credit. But what Michael Jackson was doing was saying to artists that you want to learn how to own your masters. If you are in the music industry, you realize there's something called a 360 deal. That's what's happened with the onset of streaming, right? A lot of these artists are getting jacked up in some shoddy 360 deal. Michael Jackson said, you know what? I want to own my catalog. Jay-Z was smart enough to own his catalog. He bought back his album, Blueprint 3. But for so long, a lot of artists didn't know about that. Prince was also telling you. That's why Prince had Slave on his cheek. Right here. Because Prince, even though he was making music, the name Prince, he was signed under someone else. So anytime Prince made a record, he was only getting a few cents. Someone else was getting the big bucks. So what did Prince do? What did Prince do, deep divers? What did Prince do when that happened? Prince was smart, man. What did he do? What did Prince do? Thank you. The artist formerly known as Prince. Prince was so smart. He said, you know what? You can have Prince. I'll be a symbol. Prince was so smart. He said, hey, you can have the name Prince. I'll be a symbol. The people will know me as Prince anyway. But Prince also, what happened? He was smart enough to buy his own masters, right? And to own his masters in the end. And Prince was extremely smart. But you see, one of the things like Michael Jackson, Prince, Andrew Tate, the trap is serving two masters. You can't go against the same thing that's putting you there. And this is the reason why you have to realize that the media builds you up only to tear you down. Kanye West has gone missing. How do you have $2 billion and by the next day you only got 400 million? Can somebody explain that? Because you see, Kanye West, just like Andrew Tate, said, you know what? I want to start speaking my truth. And, you know, like Nori told you, the truth isn't free. You got to buy it. And it costs a whole lot. What do they say about the truth, deep divers? The truth will set you free. Ever heard that expression? The truth will set you free. And the more you speak about the truth, when you have been serving the inorganic ones, the agents, this is when they come after you. Because they're like, wait a minute. I've invested into you. I'm the reason why you've got 100 million followers. And now you're trying to talk bad about me? You're trying to bite the hand that feeds you? Okay. So when Ye said, Adidas won't drop me, Adidas didn't want to drop Ye. They were making billions off his ass. But they said, you know what? Who cares about money? Because they know the secret as well. And they said, just remember who put you in that position in the first place. And that's the reason why what you have to realize is that you don't want to be bragging about how much your net worth is. You don't want to say I'm worth 2 billion. I'm worth 9 billion. Because by the next day, they can say, actually, you're only worth 200 million. You're only worth 300 million. You don't want to say, hey, I have 33 cars. Because once again, this is how they do these little humiliation rituals. Absolutely. Rothschild stay quiet for a reason. Well, you got to remind yourself, a lot of these families, they don't talk a lot because they realize that to keep wealth, I'm talking about billions, you got to shut your mouth and you have to be invisible. The more you show, shout out to Pele, the greatest football player, the more you show, hey, I've got this, I've got that. This is when they say, okay, that's cool. But if you're not following our agenda, we'll send in the boys. So that's the reason why part of escaping the matrix. What did Elon Musk tweet? He's aware of the matrix. What if I told you the only way to escape the matrix is to unlearn everything you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis? That's why I told you. You want to think for yourself. I'm only a way shower. I'm only a guide. But the true power is you. And when you realize this, you become the one. And it's amazing. How you feeling, deep divers? Let's raise the frequency. I got love for everybody who's here. Let's raise the frequency. Let's raise the vibration. We can even just mellow it out, deep divers. Once again, make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button if you support the real. Share the video. We take a little break. Hit that super chat. I want everybody to hit that super chat. Leave a comment. Leave a comment of appreciation. Leave a message, a question. I'm going to read it. But let's just raise the frequency. I'm so happy. The whole world is just beginning. We already won. It's about us all. So many beautiful deep divers here. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. Shout out to Mark Pagan, who produced the remix of this. Enjoy it. So good to be alive, baby. Yeah, I'm so happy. It's a choice. Thank you, Ozzy. You are appreciated. Yeah, I'm so happy to manifest whatever you want, to be whatever you want. It's a choice. Freedom is a must. We have to become the spoon. We have to become the spoon. Shout out to everyone who's here. So one of the things we have to talk about is because Andrew Tate was such a big figure in the manosphere. You know, you had Kevin Samuels, you know, who really talked his stuff, right? And, you know, there's a lot of people don't know there's a massive red pill movement happening among men in the United States of America. Andrew Tate is at the forefront of it. Kevin Samuels was at the forefront of it as well. And you see, in the Matrix, one of the units that the agents are most afraid of, what's one of the units the agents are most afraid of? What's one of the units the agents are most afraid of? External influences, you are appreciated. Save our children, absolutely. What's one of the units the agents are most afraid of? What's one of the institutions? The family unit. Thank you. Thank you. The family unit, right? So this whole red pill movement is all about that. It's all about the family unit. You know, a lot of people are afraid of the family unit. And, you know, men and women's roles have been kind of skewed. And people like Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, they're there to inspire men, motivate men. And, you know, their approach may not be the best, but they have helped a lot of men out, especially a lot of young men. That's a positive thing. At the same time, they've also been very controversial. Things they've said about women, this and that. And, you know, a lot of people feel a certain way. And that's why I told you, you can only get that big when you are polarizing, right? You can only, in the Matrix, you can only get big. I'm talking about a Michael Jackson level or even an Andrew Tate level. If you say things that's going to shock people and say, oh my gosh, you know, I was polarizing. I'm polarizing, right? Because I say, hey, decalcify your pineal gland. I say, hey, 7-day vegan challenge, right? That's polarizing. So you're either going to rock with me or you're going to say, nah, I'm good. And that's the reason why I'm inspiring millions of people. So people who are master players are polarizing. Picasso was polarizing. You either liked his art or you didn't like his art. Basquiat was polarizing. Andy Warhol was polarizing. You either like it or you don't. If you go through life wanting everyone to like you and love you, you're only going to be like another sheep in the herd. If you go through life and you're afraid to say something, you're only going to get led to the slaughterhouse. You're only going to get led to the wolves. And they're going to eat you alive for dinner. So when you remind yourself that actually it's good to have an opinion, because if you have an opinion, if you have like a strong belief about something, Greta Thunberg, right? She's one of these people. She said, hey, climate change. She is polarizing. You could say, actually, I don't even believe anything she's talking about. But some people will say, actually, I love everything she's talking about. So can you see the science I'm giving you? You better be polarizing. You better stand for something. Because if you don't, you're only going to be sent to the slaughterhouse. That's why I say, hey, let me shout out to everyone who's here. Anthony himself, you are appreciated. Oh, we just started, Deep Divers. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button. We're just getting warmed up. We got a whole lot to talk about. I already put out a video. It's already gone viral. But the universe said, Ralph, we can go again. So we're here again. Oh, yeah. Get your popcorn, Deep Divers. Anthony himself, you are appreciated. Love or hate Tate, masculine energy is under attack. You are appreciated. Absolutely. Very true. I told you. They're trying to turn men into women and women into men. That's the reason why a lot of women are very masculine. That's the reason why a lot of men are very feminine. And it's all done by design, because a man should be a man, a woman should be a woman. We've got to remind ourselves things are never black and white. At the same time, the masculine energy is under attack. What Tate would talk about, which I would listen to and agree with, was men are invisible. A lot of men are invisible to society. Unless you are a Brad Pitt or Will Smith, most men are invisible. And this is what birthed the manosphere. This is the reason why Kevin Samuels was so popular. This is the reason why Andrew Tate was so popular. Because there are millions of men, hundreds of millions of men who feel neglected, who feel abandoned, who don't feel cared for. No one's listening to them. So when you have someone like a Tate coming along saying, hey, man up, you can be this, you can be the best version of yourself. A lot of men, they kind of resonate with it. And that's the reason why he's got more supporters than haters. Andrew Tate has more supporters than haters because he's already cracked the matrix. He's already tapped into that demographic of men who have been neglected. So absolutely powerful statement, Anthony. Absolutely. Masculine energy is under attack. You see, there's this whole notion. Truth rises, you are appreciated. I said this in a rap before, enlightened by the message on the precipice to greatness. Ralph, smart new breed, Rashid, Jamal, necklace, much love, Ralph. Hey, you are appreciated. I appreciate you. You are appreciated. You know, a lot of women say, I don't need a man. And we've got to remind ourselves that we need each other, right? So this whole third wave of feminism saying, hey, I don't need a man, I'm Miss Independent. This is exactly what the inorganic ones want, because now men and women are at war with each other. We need each other. We're complementary. And this is what Andrew Tate was also trying to bring to the forefront. Ozzy, you are appreciated. Do you think the inorganic ones have different factions that fight each other for power and control, but have the same goal to enslave us? Oh my gosh. That's like a bomb right there. Let's dive into it. Absolutely. Because like I say, Elon Musk owns Twitter, Tesla. The wealthiest man in the Matrix is telling you this about the Matrix. What if I told you the only way to escape the Matrix is to unlearn everything that you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis? So that's what the wealthiest man in the Matrix is telling you. He's telling you how to get your ass out of the Matrix. And not everyone wanted him to post that. So when we talk of the inorganic ones, absolutely. There are people They fight amongst each other. Just like a family has its disagreements, same thing with inorganic ones. At the same time, the inorganic ones are always on code. The inorganic ones are always on code. This is the reason why they control the matrix, because they argue, they disagree, but they all work for the same mission, which is world domination, which is to turn you into a slave and make you their minion. And this is the reason why the Matrix film was all about unplugging from that and being as free as you can. Now, you might say, okay, what chance do I have? Because a lot of people ask this question, what chance do I have? Because I'm only one person. And I always tell you, you can't win their game. You know, their game is the artificial intelligence, is the materialism, the billions of and trillions of dollars. They created that matrix. And that's why I broke down that film, The Avatar, right? Avatar 2. Once upon a time, people were chilling, eating grapes, coconuts, peaches. Life was good. But they were invaded. Transatlantic slave trade. All of these things happened. Aborigines in Australia. Pygmies in the Congo. It all happened. James Cameron was telling you the story of all indigenous people on the planet. Now, you see, the reason why that was such a powerful film, The Avatar 2, go and watch my breakdown of that, Deep Divers, but is because the same thing is happening right now. You see, their world was the machine world. They had exoskeletons, they had robots, machines. They didn't have any connection with the Great Mother. They had no connection with the Great Mother. And this is the reason why they were envious. What did Morpheus tell Neo? What did Morpheus tell Neo in the Matrix? Because they live in a world of rules and boundaries. Someone give me the exact quote. Because they live in a world of rules and boundaries, they can never be as powerful, as fast as you are. What was the exact quote Morpheus told Neo from the Matrix? Because they live in a world of rules and boundaries, right? Celino Mato, you are appreciated. Thank you so much. Authenticity is our greatest strength. Wait a minute. Authenticity is our greatest strength. The Matrix has us comparing each other. Our differences are for learning purposes. We are unique in a beautiful way, one at the same time. And one at the same time. Absolutely. That was powerful right there. And I always say that, you know, authenticity is our greatest strength. The Matrix has us comparing each other. Our differences are for learning purposes. We are unique in a beautiful way and one at the same time. Absolutely. And this is what we have to remind ourselves when we talk of escaping the Matrix. Authenticity is the key, is the way out, you know, and right now we're in a world where, you know, a lot of people are afraid to be who they really are. You know, a lot of people, especially for young children, young adults, even older adults, it's hard because you go on the internet and you see what's popping, you see what's trending, and you say, hey, let me jump to that. And this is the reason why creativity gets dissolved, because a lot of people are trying to do what's popular. And this is the reason why a lot of people are empty inside, because they're comparing themselves to other people. You go on Instagram, you don't feel good because someone their life seems to be better than yours. And this is why you want to remind yourself that it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. You're talking to somebody who already has millions of followers. But like I say, I only care about connecting with real people right here, right now. Right? Because like I say, there's a lot of people around, but who's showing up? Pardon? I said there's a lot of people around, but who's showing up for the work? Who's showing up for the liberation? Who's showing up to bang on the beast daily? That's the question. Right? So it's not about how many people you have following you. It's about how many warriors are on your side, how many warrior queens are in your army. That's what it's about right now. That's the time we're in right now. We need generals, soldiers, and commanders, lieutenants, because it's a spiritual warfare that's happening. So you want to make sure the people you're around have some kind of skill, can provide some kind of service. It might be they're a mathematician, they're a doctor, they're an engineer. These are the people you want around you, because you're going to need people with different skills, right? You want people around you who have different skills. That's the way out of the matrix. And that's the reason why, when we talk of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, they had a lot of people around them. The question is, you got to remind yourself, when you're in that world, you need the same people who are pulling the strings in that world. You need powerful alliances. For me, I have very powerful alliances on Infinite Waters. I don't even know who most of these people are. All I know is they're helping Infinite Waters out. And when you remind yourself that, what if I told you, deep divers, there are people helping you, you don't even know? What if I told you there are people behind the scenes who are helping you out you don't even know about? They're watching you. And this is how it works. Nobody is where they are by themselves. So when you remind yourself that this is the reason why, you have to realize it's strength in numbers. It's strength in numbers. There are a lot of people I know, deep divers, that you don't even know about. There are a lot of people I connect with, a lot of people who watch my videos who are supporting Infinite Waters, but they don't show their face. They just say, oh, I like that guy. He's always breathing in the good ass prana, baby. Right? And in life, you never want to isolate yourself. One of the laws of power, which I love, which is use your enemies. What's that law of power, deep divers, right? Let me find that law of power, because that sums it up. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Right? Sydney, you are appreciated. Thank you so much. Right? Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because that's always a powerful statement. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. See, this is why I'm trying to tell you, when we talk of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, that law of power is very important. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Learn how to use enemies, because you see, a lot of people think, hey, they're my friends. They're not your friends. So you have to learn how to use your enemies to work for you. Right? Friends can pretend. They can say, I love you, but they don't love you. They don't even like you. So never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. And this is a law of power which you want to pay attention to. You don't want to say, hey, I know this person, they're my best friend, because that same best friend can sell your ass out for a few silver coins. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. You want to make your enemies your allies. Let me repeat that. This is the art of war. You want to make your enemies your allies. You want to make your enemies your allies. You want to make your enemies work for you. You want to make your enemies your employees. That's the law of power. Right? That's the hidden laws of powers. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn to use your enemies. And a lot of people don't really realize how powerful that is, because a lot of people think, hey, I know this person, but do they know you? Do they even care to know about you and help you out? Sometimes it's your enemies who can really help you the most. Sometimes it's your enemies who can really help you the most. Learn how to use them. Oh, we're diving deep. Let me shout out to everyone who's here. Princess for President 2024. You are appreciated. I love you, my brother Ralph. You're a piece of the puzzle for creating this new world of love. All praise are due to Prince Milton and Prince Miltona. Hey, shout out to both of you, right? And one of the things, deep divers, I always tell you is that I'm only a guide and the real power is you. You know, this is the new paradigm we're moving into. And this is how to really escape the matrix. You see, Neo had to find out that he was the one. And once you do, you realize that you're in your own world. And everything that's happening right now, with Pele passing away, Vivienne Westwood passing away on the same day, Andrew Tate getting arrested, it's all symbolic of realizing you are here to be the one. You're not here to externalize your power, externalize your freedom, externalize your happiness. You know, a lot of people have been made to idolize people, you know. And this is how they control you in the matrix. You know, they give you people, whether it's Andrew Tate, Greta Thunberg. Who are these people? You've got to remind yourself that you are the one. You are the one. You are the celebrity. Not Jay-Z, not Beyonce, not Selena Gomez, not Ariana Grande. You are the one. And you have to become the star of your own show. And this is how you escape the matrix. Because a lot of people, they're like, I'm no good. I'm nothing. And you have to start putting your ass on that red carpet every single day. So when we're talking about this red pill movement, which is so huge among hundreds of millions of men, you know, a lot of men are invisible. And this is what Andrew Tate was really bringing to the forefront, which was good. To say he was talking to a demographic. This is the reason why he rose to fame so much, so quickly, so fast, because he was talking to a demographic of young men who had been forgotten by society. And you have to realize these people will do anything Andrew Tate says. You got to know that. And the Matrix, inorganic ones, started to realize that actually Andrew Tate has more power over these young men than we do. So when Andrew Tate recently converted to Islam, a lot of other people in America were converting to Islam, just like that. When Andrew Tate was saying, hey, improve your life, a lot of men were doing the same thing. And you've got to remind yourself, with everything that's happening, don't get too emotional about it. Remind yourself the whole world is a stage. The whole world is a stage. And it's very difficult to know what's what, who's who, because everything has an underlying agenda. Shakespeare told you the whole world is a stage. Anything you see in the media is part of that stage show. And that's the reason why to escape the Matrix, you must not be controlled by one thing. What is that, deep divers? What is that? You must not be controlled by one thing. What is that? Fear, right? You must not be controlled by fear. Absolutely. You must not be controlled by fear, because the media will show you something and you're afraid of it. I'm afraid. And that's how you get controlled. You must not be controlled by propaganda and fear. And when you let love guide you and not fear, great things happen. So, like I say, so much is happening right now. Joe Rogan, they tried to comfort him. You know, the Matrix tried to comfort Joe. Because Joe Rogan was one of these people who was someone who, during that pandemic, he was starting to talk a bit too much. He was starting to say, hey, he was starting to bring people on his podcast who were saying stuff. And Joe Rogan was saying so much stuff that him being one of the most loved people in America, even him, they were saying, hey, you got to stop it, Joe. And he's just lucky he was signed to Spotify, who are based in Europe. But otherwise, they would have shut him down. Because in that pandemic, if you listen to his podcasts, he was bringing people who were challenging the mainstream narrative. And because he has so many millions of listeners, people were saying, you know what? Because Joe said it, I believe it. And that was a huge problem. That's the reason why he had to, they said, hey, go and apologize. Even till this day, they're talking about, awareness for COVID and all of that stuff. So even Joe Rogan, as popular as he was, and he is, when you reach that level of like a Joe Rogan, the inorganic ones are watching you. The inorganic ones are watching everything you say, because they want you to say a little bit, but if you start saying too much, it could ruin the agenda. And that's the reason why you have to make a conscious choice to say, I'm not going to serve two masters. And that's the only way out. Remind yourself Right now, great things are happening in the world. Don't be distracted with so much other distractions. I always say so many great things are happening, but they always push bad news in front of your face. You forget about it. So, always remind yourself. This is what I always tell myself. Hey, focus on what's happening. That's good. Focus on what's uplifting. Because if you do that, you can raise your frequency high enough to escape the matrix. So long as you're on that low frequency, you'll always be in the prison. Let's raise the frequency. Hit that like button. I want everybody to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Share the video. And, I just like this song. It's not conscious, like so conscious, but it's a great. Wait a minute. Let me shout out to. Can we do a rewind? So we take a short break, deep divers. Hit that like button, share the video, hit that super chat, leave a comment, a message. I'm reading everyone. And to escape the matrix, here's how. Listen to this.
We live in a society where people hate their jobs, media and wrong nutrition take away our faith in God. They changing our thoughts, how can you say this ain't a plot? And if we don't react, we can expect that our brains will rot. See, every one of us got a purpose, now go and find it. Actually, you don't have to look for it if you're open-minded. Everything's connected, but the way we live is so divided. I'm just trying to enlighten you, cause the human focus blinded. Your thoughts are responsible for how you perceive your life. Humans got different opinions, so do what you believe is right. Religions were invented to control and to make people fight. Why should I go to church? I just talk to God if I need advice. Fuck the separation, we're supposed to be a unity. Too many shady intentions, no one cares about you and me. I became suspicious, don't even eat the food I used to eat. Don't get manipulated and be careful what you choose to be. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible.
Listen to your heart, deep dive. The sounds of Chaos Steve. Shout out to him. Let's go.
Look, if you wanna achieve something, you don't need massive luck. If it's something you really want, then all you need to have is guts. Your subconscious mind and thoughts are shaping your reality, so own it yourself if you ain't satisfied with your salary. See, everything you do should be done with enthusiasm. Love is important too, and do never ever lose your passion. Enjoy the moment and stay away from things you can't control, and focus on the news if you really want to expand your soul. They only show us all the negative things that happen now. The problem we have is the false knowledge that's getting passed around. All these people who control the world are really selfish beasts, making us insecure and taking away our self-esteem. I'm the only person I know who questions his existence. Maybe it's my purpose to spread the truth with explicit wisdom. I will be glad if I could make this planet a better place. And if you got the same intention, then you shouldn't hesitate. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible as long as you breathe. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Start to live in harmony and stop to live in doubt and fear. Find a reason to smile instead of drowning in 1,000 tears. Ask your heart for advice so you won't regret your chosen path. Everybody needs motivation, you can't be too old for that. Showing gratitude is necessary for your future goals. You need to learn from your losses, but you should never lose your hope. Satan was created by humans to make us feel afraid. They're trying to confuse us so we don't even know what's real and fake. Listen closely to your heart so no one can control your mind. Don't believe everything just cause you hear it from an older guy. Don't get me wrong, I don't say that everything you've been told's a lie, but there are a lot of people who wanna say your soul is mine. You gotta protect it, ensure that your heart is guiding you. If you follow your intuition, it's easy to find the truth. Don't let your ego hinder you from living your life in peace. So you will never reach your full potential if your mind is weak. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong.
Listen to your heart, deep divers. Listen to your heart.
No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible as long as you breathe. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. People always tell you what you can, but but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart.
Shout out to Chaos Steve. Powerful song, Listen to Your Heart. Go and check out his music. Marco Andres, you are appreciated. God bless everyone. Wake up, everyone. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, Deep Divers. Right now, it's all about waking up, being as free as you can, unplugging, because there is a spiritual warfare happening, and it's been happening for a long time. And remind yourself, nobody's coming to get you. You know, a lot of people have created this fear that someone is out to get them. Nobody's coming to get you except yourself. You know, this is the big secret a lot of people forget about. We are actually our own worst enemy. And when you can remind yourself of that, everything changes. You know, one of the things is that, you know, people like Andrew Tate, who really, you know, is very polarizing. One law of power. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for. And by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. Right? Let me repeat that again. Because that is very powerful. The moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for. And by going too far, you can make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to get to your head. And this is why I always tell you, what did Denzel Washington tell Will Smith? What did Denzel Washington tell Will Smith? What did Denzel Washington tell Will Smith? Can you remember? What did he tell Will Smith? Because Denzel Washington was smart. Exactly. Thank you, Stephanie. Those weren't the exact words, but that will do. Devil comes to you when the light is bright. That was not exactly what he said, but that was close enough. He said, at your greatest moment, the devil comes for you, right? At your highest peak, right? At your highest peak. And that's the reason why someone like Andrew Tate was at his highest peak. And this is when you want to be careful. When you're more Googled than Donald Trump, you've got to learn the laws of power. You got to learn the laws of power. You got to realize that the moment of victory is often the moment of greatest peril. In the heat of the victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you had aimed for. And by going too far, you can make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. What happened at the Oscars? When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, the slap that was felt all across the world, that was his greatest moment. You know how I'm a fan of Will Smith. I love what Will Smith does. I was so proud, so happy that he had finally won Best Actor. He deserved it. He deserved it for Richard, King Richard. Phenomenal performance. That was his greatest moment. But like I told you, at your greatest moment, you can also have your greatest peril. If you're not able to handle the energy to say, you know what? I'm not going to let it get to my head. Because sometimes you're almost like, oh my gosh, this is my big moment. But then as you're going high, you can drop straight away. And this is what happens to a lot of people in the Matrix. And this is the reason why when you're at an Andrew Tate level, this is when you have to be careful, because it's your greatest moment. And this is when they want to set you up. This is when they want to set you up. This is when they want to start making stories up about you, because it's at that point where you've reached that peak. Now you have to kind of be smart. You got to say, wait a minute, let me see what's going on. Because when you're caught up in the fame, the flashing lights, there's somebody whose only job is to make sure you fall. That's their job. Their only job. What happened to Nipsey Hussle? What happened to Nipsey Hussle? Let's talk about Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle, I would always drive past his shop. I used to live in LA, Deep Divers, for years. I would drive past Nipsey Hussle's shop, the Marathon store, and I'm like, this brother has done phenomenal things for his community. But you see, when you've reached that peak, you got to be careful, because you got to remind yourself the same people you're trying to help can be envious of you. There's a reason why Jay-Z is not in Marcy Projects anymore. There's a reason why Jay-Z is not in Marcy Projects anymore. Ever wondered why these celebrities, they don't get caught in their old hood? They're in, then they're out. Because they know when you've reached that peak, you got to move different. Not everyone can be around you. Beyonce, when Beyonce is walking, you can't get near her. That's how you got to move, because you got to remind yourself people are hungry out here. People are starving out here. People haven't even had a breakfast out here. Right? People are hungry out here. So you got to be aware that at your highest peak is where you have to protect your energy by the people you hang around, by also the energy you're putting out there. I stayed humble, right? Even though I reached 1 million subscribers, I think back in 2016, I said, so what? I didn't get carried away. If I did, I could have saw my own downfall. Because whenever it's time to celebrate, you don't want to drink too much. You know, anytime it's time to turn up, if you're drinking too much alcohol, the next day you're not going to be yourself. You're going to have a hangover. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They get lost in the sauce. They get their own success buries them alive, because they don't realize that there's a time where you got to take a step back and say, wait a minute. Do I have the right energy around me? Like I told you, the whole world is a stage. Anything the media tell you is part of a program and is part of a stage show. That's the reason why you must always use critical thinking. And remind yourself, justice always prevails. Justice always prevails, right? So, Deep Divers, I'm really diving deep. I'm so happy to be here, deep divers, to share with you wonderful deep divers. And like I say, I got so much love for each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. I want to remind you that you are stars. I want to remind you of that, deep divers. You are stars. Let's raise the frequency. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Hit that like button, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Let's just raise the frequency. Once again, deep divers, I love all of you. Powerful, powerful show. Like I said, I had to go live on this topic because, that video I just put out, go and watch it. Already went viral. A lot of people talking about it. Good information. To everyone who's been here on this live podcast stream, let me give you a round of applause. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to dive deep with infinite waters. You are most appreciated. Clap for your damn self, deep divers. Another thing I want to tell you, and I forgot to say this, right? I want to tell you this, deep divers. You've got to be very careful. Very, very careful. Don't think because someone lives in a big house, they're a bad person. Don't think because someone has a lot of success, they're into some satanic ritual stuff. No, there are some people who have been blessed with that, right? So don't think that everything is a conspiracy. I'm a deep diver, but I also have critical thinking. I don't believe everyone who has a lot of wealth is a bad person. Why? Because I have critical thinking. I don't believe everyone who has a lot of wealth is in a secret society either. People are people. And you got to remind yourself, some people have a lot of wealth. They worked for it. They deserve it. So we got to remind ourselves, don't think because someone is living a good life, they did something bad. Right? They could have just worked hard for it, deep divers, right? There are people who work their ass off, who have a business. They started from the ground up and they deserve it. So I always say, don't feel a certain way if you see someone living good. Be proud of them. Be happy for them, because in return, that same energy is going to find its way back to you. Deep divers, I love all of you. You're truly appreciated. Once again, everybody hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Deep divers, I love each and every one of you. Stay free from the matrix. I love all of you, deep divers. Let's go.